So it doesn't only rain in the Philippines, it also rains in Pennsylvania. Hello everybody, welcome to Pennsylvania. I guess this is probably my 5th year anniversary video. I arrived just about 5 years ago in the beginning of July 2011 in the Philippines. So amazing to think that I've been there 5 years now. Of course, I haven't spent all my time there between trips to all my time in Cebu, that is. Between my trips on Sunshine and going to other places in the Philippines, I've only spent about 3.5 out of those 5 years, maybe a little less than 3.5 years in Cebu itself. Before I made my annual trip back here to the U.S., I was sitting there thinking about the number of times I've been up to Subic and the amount of time that I've stayed there over the years. I realized I've been in Subic almost a year out of the 5 years since I first came to the Philippines. And then of course I had other trips to Thailand and over to Hong Kong, and that all took a fair amount of time. So totaling it all up, it's about 3.5 years or a little less in Cebu, and the other 1.5 years in other places. This is my 5th trip back to the U.S., so right there we're talking about 5 months not being in the Philippines. Anyway, I enjoy coming back here. I'm sitting on my sister's deck. The people that live here all the time, of course, think it's quite warm. Even though it's cloudy, to me it's quite comfortable because the humidity is down and the temperature is probably hovering around 80 degrees. Very typical weather in the Philippines. Otherwise, people here run around in their air conditioning if it gets over 72, which means that I'm usually freezing my butt off sitting there in the cold, dry air all the time. Anyway, yeah, this is my annual trip. I'll be here for about another week, and then I'll be heading back to Cebu. I took the flight on Asiana from Mactan to Seoul to JFK in New York City, and then I got to take a couple of trains to get down close enough to where my family can pick me up in Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, this time I spent an extra 4 hours in the airport in Seoul because the flight from Seoul to JFK was delayed for some inexplicable reason for 4 hours. And since the layover there is already 4 hours, that was an 8-hour layover in Seoul. Rather annoying because, of course, it was followed by a 14-hour trip to New York on the plane and then another almost 3 hours by train to get down to Pennsylvania. Anyway, hopefully there'll be no hitches on the return trip. Of course, I like coming back here once a year because I can get some food stuff to eat that I can't normally get there in the Philippines, do a little shopping for some goodies that I might want to get here that I can't readily get in the Philippines, then I bring them back with me. And I haven't really done a video since my return from Samar. You know, it's already been a number of months ago, because really I wasn't doing much of anything. Some maintenance work on the boat that was my big occupying my time, and then of course planning the trip here back to the U.S. After I return, I'm hoping to do a series of videos on the whole thing of getting a driver's license. I know the rules are supposedly changed in some areas, they're ignoring them. As far as I know, here in Cebu, by the Danao LTO office, they're evidently ignoring these new rules, so hopefully I won't have any problems getting a driver's license. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm going to go shopping for a motorcycle. I've been in the Philippines for 5 years and have had to depend on tricycles and buses to get around. which is okay for general travel, but to go out and explore on the byways, really can't do that because I don't walk too much anymore. So I'm hoping that now I can get a motorbike. I can find a place close by, probably try to make an arrangement with one of the local people to rent some space at their house to keep the bike stored in a secure location, so I don't have any problems with theft or exposure to the elements with the motorbike. Anyway, that hopefully will give me some flexibility, and I can get out and about and do some more exploring on the land. Of course, I'm still living aboard Sunshine. She is for sale, but has been for sale for 3 years. I haven't really gotten any serious inquiries. But if anybody out there is interested in a boat to live aboard that's pretty well found and capable of crossing oceans still, you can contact me through the Facebook page. Anyway, that hopefully that'll give me some thing of interest also for the people who are considering coming here, or maybe are already here and considering getting a motorbike. I'd like to do maybe a couple of videos on that search for a motorbike, because there are a lot of different makes and a lot of different models for people to choose from. I already have in my mind what I'm looking for to be a 150 Honda, 150cc Honda of the Enduro type, because I like those kind of bikes. They have a longer travel suspension, it's softer, which makes it a little more comfortable for someone like me who's suffered a lot of injuries in the past. Plus, they're a little more suited for going off the main highways. As soon as you get a little distance off many of the main highways here, you're on pretty rough surface roads, or you're on dirt roads. So having an enduro type bike, I think, is a much better option for traveling over those kind of surfaces. Should be an interesting experience with the LTO office for the driver's license and shopping amongst the many dealers, mostly because I want to get video of the different types of bikes that are available so I can show those in the video. There are a couple of dealers quite close to where I live. I could probably buy the bike that I want through one of those close by dealers. I don't know that the price would vary a great deal if I went down into say Mandawi, where there are quite a few motorbike dealers, or even into downtown Cebu. Anyway, that's kind of my plans here for the immediate future. As far as going anywhere with the boat, I don't have anything planned except my annual trip up to Subic, which will be sometime towards the end of November, I suspect. Any plans dealing with the boat or trips that I make with the boat are always subject to change without notice. And I don't know if I'm going to do any local cruising before I leave, because I have at least one big maintenance item I got to take care of. It involves disassembling the steering pedestal and stripping it down and repainting it. And of course, while that's going on, I can't go anywhere with the boat because I can't, practically speaking, steer the boat. Anyway, I don't know how long that'll take, maybe a week or two, because got to take the old paint off and clean up all the corrosion and put the primer coats on and let them cure and dry, and then put the finish coat on and reassemble the whole thing. Anyway, that's kind of what my plan is for the immediate future. Like I said, I'll be leaving here from Pennsylvania in about a week for the flight back to Cebu. So take care, have fun, bye now.